think your team have had rough justice from referees this year, in terms, specifically, not in terms of like offside decisions, but specifically in terms of your players being protected?
Well, I'm looking at John McGinn in particular, and John won't thank me for singling him out, but he has had some really heavy challenges. You know, the one against last minute against Hearts, and there was a couple of heavy ones at Motherwell, and there was 2 or 3 on Saturday that were not just, you know, heavy, they're reckless. And that's why I made the comment that I am worried about John, because he does take a lot of physical damage during games, late tackles, barges off the ball. Now, the game is physical, I don't mind that, but when it's reckless, then that's when I raise the question.
Do you think part of that stems from the fact that you have players in your team that are better players than players in opposition teams? And that's just something in the nature of football?
Well, if that's the case, then, and you're agreeing with me on that, then the referee should take charge of the situation and hand out the necessary punishment. And I don't think the referee did enough on Saturday at Hamilton. I didn't see Martin's comments on the McGeoch penalty incident either, so it must have been a selective interview as well. But yeah, it's just a concern of mine that I've raised. There's 19 fouls against, 7 against us, so almost 3 times the amount of fouls given away by the opposition. So that's, you know, in 90 minutes, so the ball's not in play for 90 minutes, the ball's in play for maybe 40. So you're looking at maybe 1 foul every 2 minutes there. And yeah, you can disrupt the game. I don't mind that, it's part of the game. But what I do mind is the recklessness of some challenges.
You were known, Neil, as a pretty hard-hitting midfielder. Is the game dirtier now? Is there a more... is it a dirtier
Look, I don't want the game sanitised, because tackling is,
yeah,
you know, it's a skill, it's a requirement. But I didn't see much tackling or quality tackling on Saturday. It was just late, players being barged off the ball, and nowhere near the ball, and it was consistent throughout the game.
Scottish football is known though as being a bit more physical than other countries.
I don't mind it, Brian. You know, I don't complain every week about challenges, but when I do see a reckless challenge against one of my players, then I have to look after the welfare of my players, or speak about the welfare of my players. They don't. They just get up and get on with it. But one of these days, someone may end up with a very bad injury due to a reckless tackle.
Do you speak to referees? Are they aware of your thoughts on this type of physicality in the game?
Well, they may read the papers, or they may read my comments on refereeing performance. I don't do it all the time, you know, but it's just something that I've noticed over the last month or so, is the over-aggressive or overzealous tackling against some of the players. Now, every other manager may have an opinion on that. I can only comment on what I see from my own team. I think when Hamilton came to East Road, it was very complimentary about Martin's team. That seems to have got lost in all this. So I'm not here to bandy reputations about against other teams. I'm just calling it as I see it.
Have you spoken to John Fleming in SFA, or has nobody been in touch with you about this?
Not yet, no.
No. Do you expect him to?
Probably not, no.
You don't think to take any notice, or?
Maybe. John assesses the referees' performances during the week.
You also speak to the match delegates though, and they ask you...
Yeah, I made my opinion clear to the match delegate after the game. So whether that'll come back to me or not, I don't know. But I give my opinion on what I thought of the referee's performance after the game.
Do you get feedback from that at all, Ian?
No, I've never had feedback yet.
Would that be useful, do you think, for managers?
Yes, it would. And maybe a call into John, you know, may be worthwhile, but I find that sometimes to be a fruitless argument.
Can you understand referees' frustrations, perhaps? If you look at, there's been a couple of really high-profile incidents in the last week in Scottish football, the penalty at Hampden on Sunday, and I suppose again last night. Referees don't come out and speak after the game. Do you think perhaps supporters, managers, players would get a better understanding of where referees are coming from if they were allowed the opportunity to speak after the game?
I'm not sure about the referee, you know, talking about it, but maybe in a couple of days down the line, a representative of the ref. I think it's too much pressure to put on a referee straight after the game, because at the end of the day, they're not, you know, there's no bias or anything like that. Sometimes they get decisions wrong. I'm not talking about individual decisions here, Paul. I'm talking about a collective, you know, concerted period of tackles that I was not pleased about. And I think a representative from the association or the referees association could come out and maybe make a comment on behalf of the referee 2 or 3 days down the line. I think that might give it more clarity. But I certainly don't think referees should talk straight after the game. I think it puts too much extra pressure on referees. I don't think that's right.
It would put pressure on union.
Well, yeah, it's our livelihoods on the line at times, yeah. But we are the spokesperson for the club, and we have to talk about the game emotionally at times after the game. I don't think I was over emotional after the game, and I haven't watched the game again. I think I was quite vindicated in what I said.
Your team, you were quite praiseworthy of your team.
They were excellent, absolutely excellent. Dominated the game, played some great football, created good chances on a really difficult pitch. I thought we were playing very, very well. I have no complaints about the team performance whatsoever.
When you go to Partick Thistle, then is there any knocks from that game then?
Stephen is a little bit sore, so we're hoping he'll train tomorrow. Stokes is back in training. There's no fresh injury concerns. John's obviously going to miss the game through suspension, so that's a big loss. But we've got, you know, decent players to come in. The
way that the league's panning out, there seems to be the top 4 or 5, and you'd be delighted that I'm sure Hibernian are in there with that. Do you see Celtic now kicking on and running away with it, and the rest sort of battling for second, third spot?
I think Celtic, after the Champions League stops, you know, and they don't have to play the volume of games, I think you will see them maybe stretch away. You know, they've just got so much strength and depth, and it'll give Brendan an opportunity to freshen the squad up a little bit in terms of game time. And then it's, you know, it's a good challenge, good competitive 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and bottom 6. But that's the way I felt the season would go. You know, what I'd say at the start of the season, you had Celtic, then you had Aberdeen and Rangers in the second bracket, and everyone else fighting to get into that bracket. So we put ourselves in a good position.
How important is this run of games now, between now and the January time off? You know, the break that you have. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be, you know, vital to how the season sort of stretches out. It is a good period. The only thing, it's a volume of games in a short concerted period of time, so it's going to, you know, be demanding for all the teams and all the squads. But it's very exciting. You know, after Thistle, we've got Celtic, Rangers and Aberdeen in a week, then Hearts at the end of the month, Ross County, Kilmarnock thrown in there as well. So a lot of games to look forward to.
Not too much time on the train, but it'll just be match recovery and so on.
Yeah, listen, I don't mind that. You know, the players get into a rhythm of games, which was actually broken up by the international break. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really good period, and I'm sure the players are all looking forward to it as much as me.
And how far down the line are you with anything that may happen in the January transfer?
Nothing yet. You know, we're just pursuing options at the minute, and trying to whittle down a little list for ourselves, and hopefully kick on with that once the window opens.
Neil, can I ask you about Anthony Stokes? I'm led to believe there was a bit of a disagreement in training, on the training ground recently with him. Can you tell me anything about that?
No.
Is it correct to say that?
Yes.
And did it influence him being selected for matches at that point in time?
Yes.
Can you expand on that at all?
It's been dealt with, so he's back in the squad.
Has there been problems with attitude or discipline or behaviour with Anthony since he's come to the club, or was this an isolated incident?
Isolated incident that, you know, I felt that I'm not going to tolerate it, and he understands that, and he's back in training very well this week, and he's in contention to start at the weekend.
Was that the reason he wasn't playing last week, Neil?
Well, he'd only trained one day anyway, you know, and he hadn't trained very much in the previous 2 weeks of the international break, so he was under a little bit, for me, undercooked. He played against St Johnstone and he looked a little bit off it, and he hadn't trained much due to a bug as well. So all that culminated in my decision as well.
How did the training ground incident, was that just the nub of it? Did that hit it in the head, so to speak, and that was, you know, you need to go, or whatever, he needs to take some time off or whatever?
No, I just made a decision that he wasn't going to be part of the squad that weekend.
How would you assess his contribution And his attitude since he arrived?
His attitude's been very, very good, you know, and he's been a bit in and out, but he's still got real quality. Now he needs to, you know, come and add that quality to the squad now, for particularly this month. So he's fit and raring to go, and he's accepted that he was in the wrong, and he's getting on with it now.
Did he apologise, do you know?
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to apologise. He just needs to understand that there are certain codes of conduct and a level of discipline that, you know, you can't cross with me, and he knows that, so it's done now.
Having worked with you previously, he should have known.
He should have known, yeah. It's not a major issue, you know. We played really well at the weekend. You know, it's not going to affect the group long term. So, you know, I think we'll see a very motivated Anthony Stokes now for the next few weeks.
Partick Thistle, what do you do this season?
It's difficult for Alan to maintain the standards that he set. You know, there's no doubt that they're probably maybe better than what the league table shows at the minute. The other difficulty he has is they've only played one game this month. You know, so I'm talking about stop-start, and he's had nothing really to work with apart from the Hearts game in a month, and you know that's difficult. Hopefully we can take advantage of that, but I think he's a very good manager, and there's real stability there at Partick Thistle, and it's a very good story.